Really come about in two different areas at about the same time. One was the idea of youth handicapped people to recycle with, and the other one was to have a recycling program at SIU. In Murfreesboro, it started with about 10 housewives at the workshop, who had interest in the workshop, primarily because of equal participants there. And they furnished the initial material to see if these people were really working for us and stuff. From then on, it became a matter of printing a few posters, uh, probably some spot announcements on the radio. And just primarily then, a matter of going, talking to various groups, uh, word of mouth advertising. You'd be surprised how fast news can travel. And we've gone over to the Henry printing office. It's a place we pick up some pretty good ledger. This is some of the stuff they print up. They have trimmings off of it that we set up a deal there where they'll separate it as soon as they trim off the ends of the paper, and we can pick it up. It's all pretty good stuff. I'd like to get up some more of these printing shops. That's where a lot of our good ledgers will be coming from in the future. We try to set them up whenever we go in, set up these places, show them the different grades of paper that we like to have separated out. But the paper separation process is pretty confusing, especially people have never really thought about it before. And it's even confusing for us people, I've worked with for a long time. We still have grades of paper. We don't know what to call them. So really, when we go in and tell people how to separate it out, uh, it's a little bit confusing for them, and they aren't really concerned about it. They want to save the paper for us, but uh, most separation is left up to us.
You good? We get involved in recycling a certain material, say glass or say paper or cans. We go to the place that applies the stuff and we find out what you have to do to sell material to that source. Take paper, take all boxboard, who we sell almost paper to. The things they do and the things we do are very similar. We both produce about the same thing. We produce bales of material that's suitable to go into a point of use, to go into a mill, be made into new paper. Obviously, the scale of their operation is a lot larger than ours. And then they have they have other functions that we don't have. In other words, they're paper brokers and they sell material, all through the Midwest here, Wisconsin, all the way from Mississippi, I think, clear up to almost Canada. And they sell paper to, throughout this entire region. Whereas we sell paper to them. So, they resell things that we do. We'll move these out of here. We can put at least one of them there and put the rest of them right up here with these three. Let's get these three out of here, then we can go in there with the pellet. Oh, yeah. Oh, already. We're just starting. At this point, a suitable working place, a dry building with facilities that you can load trucks out of, I would say is our number one priority. Then, from the building, we need to develop a more efficient processing system. What we're going to have to come up with is techniques, machines, methods, whatever you want to call them, that will enable people with handicaps to become productive up to their maximum capacity. We're not talking about, I don't think, real complex techniques and machinery, but I think we have to have certain types of handling systems and certain devices, that will emphasize their capabilities and work around their disabilities.
What I was doing was, it was paying me enough while we're doing mowing. And me and wife was on SSI, and we couldn't live on what they give us. So one real cold, snowy morning, they came to the house and said, knocked on the door, said, "You want work?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So they came and got me and brought me down here and showed me what to do and all stuff. And a couple days later, I was hired.
You like it, huh?
Yeah.
Like it as much as you liked your other business, your own business that you had?
Well, sometimes.
How do you feel about what you're doing here? It's recycling.
I feel like we're doing the community a favor by doing this stuff. I mean, they don't have to haul it off to the landfill or something and not waste it. I mean, I'm not for yourself.
There's one too many advertisements with these papers every day.
We get some interesting feedback, like some older gentleman come in yesterday or the day before with talk about the stuff, and he said, "Well, this sure helped me." He says, he said, "This is sure better than me spending $6 or $7 a month for garbage man." I says, "You get rid of your garbage man?" He says, "Oh yeah." He says, "I don't have nothing left." He says, "I bring you the cans and the boxes and paper, those heat traps, in the garden." He said, "Don't need a garbage man now." And, for someone probably on a retirement income anyway, if that's beneficial. We get a lot of publicity in the paper, and we get a lot of nice articles, write-ups, people write in, unsolicited comments.
Yeah,
So it makes you feel like you're on the right track.
it's really a community effort. So without everybody's help, we would be nowhere. If it wasn't for the individual that saved their class, bring their paper in, and the volunteers that come over, the people that write into the paper, the people that put in good word for us, for the county board members, so that we can get a new bill. All of these things add up, so it is a community thing.
I think as we mentioned previous, we got some money from the Jackson County Board for revenue sharing funds to erect a new building here. It's going to be all steel. Should look pretty nice when we're done. It's 2-tone color. We're putting quite a few fiberglass panels in it. Not only some in the roof and some on the side, so that we can utilize natural light as much as possible. And hopefully get light enough so that in the daytime, when we work, we won't really need to use much electricity and stuff for lighting purposes at least. We already have enough electrical bill just from running paper mailers and stuff, so we don't really need that in the help it. Part of it, we'll partition part of it off and heat it, but for the most part, I think it might be open and used for storage. But, an operation like this requires it's mostly storage space anyway, but the actual operating space is relatively small compared to the amount of space required to store stuff in sizable quantities. We had 100 tons of cans stacked up right in here. 100 tons of loose cans.
We'll bring that picture just to show people what 100 tons of loose tin cans looks like.
Yeah, nothing. Paper blow up. Over in the trailer bookshelf. But we had probably 100 tons of paper stacked outside too. So the code enforcement officer come down. The time he got here, we had the paper picked up. He parked out there where my pickup truck is, and he looked all around. That's when we had that monstrous power cab. And he says, "Well, things look pretty good to me." Well, anyone can look at 100 tons of tin cans in the middle of the city and say it looks pretty good to me. Never quite know. Of course, he's not code enforcement officer anymore either.
A lot of the equipment that we used and are still using today was pretty much homemade and fabricated mostly, by Lowell. He put a lot of the machinery together, the things that we use every day. The metal baler, in particular, was a machine that he put back in shape after it had been pretty much discounted as a production machine. It was going to be cut up and reused itself, so he was able to get it going again. And the glass crusher and several other things we use around there were again just fabricated by him down there just to meet the needs that we had.
Not much investment in these machines. We built them ourselves. We built two that we've kept here. And the first one, we had a total investment of about $35 in it. And that little machine has crushed, I think, almost $12,000 worth of glass. Initially, we tried to break up a ham. And we had people with hand tampers, and we'd drop bottles in a barrel. And then they'd take a hand tamper and break it into a barrel. I was all right if you only got 3 or 4 bushels of glass, but then you may be getting like 2,000 or 3,000 pounds a week. It's just out of the question.
You don't trust the rain, is that? No.
If you come down there not knowing any of them, if you show up on the recycling center and just observe for a while, you're going to see and hear a lot of interesting things that go on. There's a lot of happiness, I think, maybe that's the word you use, about these people and how they adjust to their jobs and their interrelationships between themselves, very, very casual and seem to be in a very good spirit all the time. They have, everybody seems to have a very good sense of humor, and they're able to poke fun at one another, and nobody gets upset. And it just it makes for a very nice setting to work in. I think they all really depend on one another a great deal to get the jobs done that have to be done down there.
Get the river back there?
Hold on.
River down there.
You're good enough.
Well, we do a little bit of everything. We got no one specific job. We just do a little bit of everything. Sell paper, sort paper, just about anything there's to do. Crush glass, about anything there is around to do. We do.
I possibility that if we get the new building put up and everything, we're going to, what I had might do is change the forklift from gas to propane. And it'll be a whole lot easier starting, so you can get in, move anything where we want to with it without having no problem with gas or anything. And it will be a lot easier to work with when we do get the new building. we don't have to use that, that two-wheel cart to push the bales down. All we gotta do is put them on the forklift and stack them up, or whatever. In a row, to stack them up. You know, without using those.
I wouldn't really try and talk somebody out of making an attempt at recycling. If if I knew all the conditions that they were going to work under and everything, I might advise against trying certain things. But as far as against the concept, my experiences haven't been that bad that that I would advise against it. Matter of fact, I would wholeheartedly support, I think, almost anyone that sincerely wanted to make the effort.
Oh. Down here alone.
The growth has been encouraging. The response we're getting, at our collection places has been good, and really better than I would have expected. We haven't done a whole lot of advertising to get the word out. Advertising, depending on how you do it, costs quite a little money, so we haven't been able to get the word out as much as I'd like for it to. But the people have seen our new collection buildings, and they're bringing the stuff in, and we're getting a whole lot more material than I'd say a year ago.
I talked to the business agent of the steelworker the day before yesterday, and he implies that they're ready to come in just as soon as we're ready to have them in. And it looks like our only cost is they want to be covered by some type of insurance while they're working there, which is understandable. And when we get that detail worked out and get it leveled down, then hopefully they'll come in and erect it. And that's a real savings. I priced direction from the people that we bought the building from, and last year they wanted $7,000 to put it up, just erect it after the concrete was in. So if we get steel workers come in and put it on the ground, and that's the type of savings that you have to work an awful long time to make up that difference. So their only real concern is that other people are making a contribution. They don't want to be the only ones. But he told me that they'd do it, so I'm trusting that that's going to happen.
Relatively speaking, we're still a brand new organization, and we're a very unique organization. We're finding that out all the time, that it's pretty much an unheard of thing to run a recycling corporation using a handicapped labor force. It's completely new, and as far as I know, anyway, it's new, and so it's still in the early stages of development. We've got we'll probably be developing from here on, but we've got a lot of work to do, but it's going to happen.
I think, it has potential to provide a good opportunity for handicapped employment. I've seen a lot of a number of handicapped people work here, and it's been a pleasant thing to see that most of them, I think, enjoy working like they are, or working with this material, opportunity, whatever it is. And I don't think we've had any that wanted out or have left because they've been dissatisfied with what they've been doing.
Want that? Nope.
Here they understand each other. Like, for example, like I've got a hearing problem. Well, they understand that. You guys can come up to me and tap me on the shoulder or something like that and get my attention. Or that's something. That's the reason why I get on better here than I do any other job that I've ever been to.
We don't have the capability to roll with the fluctuations that we should, and that's a problem. But it's always been a problem. So far, we've been able to come out. But if I saw any one major problem, that would be the variations in marketing is the one that would get to us the most. The positive side being the fact is we've never been closer to a better environment. We're getting greater community participation and this sort of thing, so we're coming up on that end. Hopefully the marketing situation will stay good enough that we won't have any major hassle, but it's conceded, could be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. Hi, get in straight, little trader. Hi, man. Everyone else can ask about cars. There you felt like after in. There he is anyway.
With the advent of the new energy crisis, I think there's more and more realization that recycling may be a thing to do. That may save something. Obviously, it would be better if it was on a lot larger scale, but in this area, we're the only one doing it, so at least whatever scale we're working at is, it seems to me it's a plus. And it's a basis for a larger operation if any, the community desires get great enough that they want recycling on a larger basis. They've got started.